If you hate AI, this video is not here to change your mind. But if you are genuinely curious whether it could actually help creators, especially when it comes to shooting B-roll, then stay with me. Everything you're about to see was cut into one cinematic sequence. Some of it was filmed with my Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm filming on at the moment, and some of it was generated in AI with Higgsfield. I did, however, start from a realistic starting point. The question isn't whether you can tell the difference, it's whether this could fit into a vlog without feeling fake. But the bigger question is, should we even be doing this in vlogs in the first place? I cut this together like a normal B-roll sequence. Watch it first, and then we'll talk. So here's what I did. I went out and I shot this location with the Osmo Pocket 3, no drone whatsoever. So one of the things that I need to do is I need to shoot some photos. I'll have to move my camera so that it's not in the scene. But I want to get a few photos of the scene first so that I have a few to work with in Higgsfield. And then I just have reference images. Let me just move this so it's not in my shot. And let's say I wanted to do a drone shot which started here and went that way, or maybe that way actually, because it'd be flying into the sun. So maybe the drone would start here and then it would kind of go over that building. So what I'm going to do is take a photo in this direction. I can feed that into Higgsfield. And then as my end point, because you can have a start frame and an end frame. So I'm just going to take a photo here. And then I need to get my actual B-roll clip. So I'm going to do this like I would be doing any other B-roll sequence in my vlogs, because what I tend to do is shoot transition B-roll. So if I'm moving from one place to another, then there's some horses over there, then I can use the B-roll so it kind of bridges the gap. So if I was standing here and I wanted to do a talking head here and then I walked up the road a little bit, then I get some B-roll of whatever's in the surroundings up there. So that's how the sequence is going to be put together. So remember those two photos that I just shot? This is one of the clips that I generated from using both of them as a start and an end point, and I'll show you how I did it in a second. But first, before I move on, in the previous B-roll sequence there were two non-drone shots that were generated in Higgsfield. So I'm going to play it back so that you can see what they were, which ones they were, and I'll put labels so that you can identify them easily. So as I said in the beginning, I'm not trying to trick you or try and compare for differences. I want to genuinely see if extending a scene can fit seamlessly into a video. So now I'll show you how I did it. In Higgsfield, I uploaded one of the photos that I shot, and I tried a couple of AI models to see which one would look the most realistic. The aerial shots, so the fly-throughs, those were generated from the same environment that I was in, as you can see from the photos and the BTS footage. That part mattered the most because I did not want to generate a scene that wasn't real, that was completely fake, and try and find something or try and generate something that matched to how it was when I was there by describing it. I wanted something that was pretty much as it was whilst I was there in that scene. So it really did have to feel like an extension of where I actually was. Kind of like visual effects in a film, not to fake the location, but to just extend it. There is a similarity in this in using stock footage, because you have to troll through so many different clips to find something that matches the lighting, the exposure, the colours, the time of day in the scene. Whereas with this, you're generating something that's built from the actual scene that you were already in. So you're starting with a real image that you actually shot, and it means that you're extending reality as opposed to inventing something that's completely new or trying to find something that matches what you need to go into your footage. So once you've uploaded the photo, you put in your prompt and you just let Higgsfield do its thing. One thing that I will say is that you have to be quite specific with what you actually want to achieve, and making sure that you tell it not to do certain things, because you don't want it to add buildings, you don't want it to add things that weren't there. So you really do want to make sure that you're thinking about what you don't want to be in the clip, as well as what you actually want the AI to actually do to the clip. So one of the things I want to do is just I want to get a couple of photos with the Nano, because I want to play with Cinema Studio 2.0 and create some close-up shots. So if you didn't have the Pocket 3 and all you had was an action camera, which doesn't allow you to get close to subjects and do any kind of shallow depth of field, if you want to get close-up shots, then you can use Cinema Studio and choose your lens. I'll show you this in a second, but basically I'm going to get some photos of some things that I would think, do you know what, it would be cool to have that shot with a bit of depth of field behind it. So if I look at this plant pot, for example, I'm just choosing anything at the moment. So if you have a look at this, in the background there, let me just put this into standard D-Warp. I've got this pot and everything's in focus. I'm going to take a photo of that, and then I could have the background potentially out of focus. So let me choose something else as well. Let me get this. This is a better plant pot actually. I'm going to take a photo of this and then try and have it so that the clip has the buildings out of focus and also just a bit of a tighter shot. So actually, let me go a little bit wider. I'll take a couple so that I can play around. So let me just quickly show you the photo that I used to generate this image, because this one was shot on the Nano. I ended up going with this photo. And so in Cinema Studio, I added the photo, which you just do here. So you can upload a photo here. So this is the one, this ended up being the one that I used. And then you can go to this studio here where you can actually change your camera, you can change your lens, the focal length, the aperture. And so this is what I had it set to. I had it set to a digital camera, studio, S35 camera, regular lens, a prime lens. I had the focal length set to 50, and then I set my aperture to f1.4, and then this is the image that it generated for me. And then after that, you then take that image and then you can generate a video out of it. So this is where you then put in the prompt for the movement that you want. And so you can also, for the movement, you can select what the camera movement is. I went for pan left, because I wanted it to pan from left to right. And then I just wanted a single shot, so I didn't want multiple shots, but you could add multiple shots if you wanted to create an actual sequence. So you could have different images in here which would create a full sequence for you. And then I had 16:9 because it was going in my YouTube video. 1080 was the highest resolution I could set. And then you have this setting down here which allows you to choose the style of the video. Mine wasn't anything cinematic or anything, it was just a regular video, so I just went with general. I didn't need the sound, so I took that off, and actually it saves you some credits when you take it off. So 16 credits would have been used if I had sound. Take it off, there's only 12 credits used. So I didn't need the sound, so I took it off, and I just wanted one batch size. So I didn't add an end frame here. You could add an end frame like I did previously when I was generating videos, but I just want one shot, simple shot that is just a smooth pan with depth of field, and then I generated it and it came up with this video. You can see there's a little bit of breeze there happening as well, but it's kept that parallax effect, which is quite cool. So should we even be doing this in vlogs? AI isn't going anywhere, and I believe it comes down to how you actually use it and the intent behind you actually using it. If you're capturing a place that you're actually in, I don't believe it's about trying to reinvent a scene that doesn't exist, but actually use one tool in place of one that you don't have access to, like a drone. So taking a photo in a real location and adding motion to it is not the same as letting AI fabricate a completely randomly made up scene. And you have to ask yourself the question, are you trying to deceive people, or are you trying to show them something that's real in a way that you couldn't have done it because you lacked the tools to do so? In my shots, the Pocket 3 captured reality and AI just extended it. I genuinely don't think AI is something to be used all the time or as a replacement, but it's just another tool that can fill the gaps like any other tool. You've just got to use it for the right intentions, and adding motion to a realistic scene is a pretty solid use case, I would say. So if you want to check out Higgsfield for yourself, I've dropped a link in the description for you, and I'll catch you on the next video.